are finally in the field. It's the first time I've been in a tractor since before Christmas, so I'm feeling pretty good. I actually was not expecting to be in a tractor today. I figured I would just be pulling anhydrous tanks for my dad and Jeff, but I'm out here working down tile lines. I think my dad and Jeff are both in anhydrous with the anhydrous bars, and then Grizz, who helps us out in the spring and the fall, he is running tanks. So once I finish up this job, I have until the end of the field. I will go run tanks for the other tractor, so that way Grizz isn't running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And there's a few other small things that need to get done today too. But it should be a pretty decent week weather-wise. Hopefully we're able to knock out a lot of acres, and planting should be here before we know it.
A vehicle down here. Get the pickup to get me a tank.
Okay. It would appear that everyone is going to the field today. Once they get an empty weight on it, you pull over to the part of the lot where they have like the anhydrous risers where they fill all the tanks, and I'm just going to leave it there for them to fill it up like on the truck. I'm not going to disconnect this time because we use ones with bigger valves, so there's only 5 total. So I think we have, I just have to keep this one on the truck. So I finally got everyone else their food and just filled up with gas and went to the post office and dropped off a bunch of Heart of the Midwest shirts. So now I finally get 5 minutes to eat my lunch. And then I have to hook up to this tank over here and take it back and get filled. But my dad just started a new field, so I have a little bit of time to just eat. Okay, so this is the field that I worked those tile lines in this morning, and if you can see him out there, my dad is putting on gas, so I'm just bringing him another tank. It never stops. So my dad's here. We've got Jeff. He's also putting on gas with another tractor and toolbar. So everyone's keeping pretty busy. Grizz is running tanks for Jeff, and then I'm taking care of my dad.
Yeah, right in here again.
Bright and early. I just took my dad's pickup home last night because this field with this empty tank in it was on my way, so it seemed easier than driving to the shop, coming back. All of those are double thousands, but we run 1500s and have a bigger valve up there than normal. So that's the tank that I dropped last night. And then I think that we should have another full one. Yep, over here. It's easy to spot the ones that we use because they've got a square gauge around them instead of the round ones the rest of them do. And obviously they're bigger. Okay, so we've burnt all the stuff. Jeff is still putting on gas, and then my dad is just double checking everything on the sprayer. I think he's ready to get some of that stuff sprayed probably tomorrow. Things are really greening up, so I'm just on my way to pick up this last empty tank that my dad dropped before he quit putting on gas. We're actually running out of dry ground. We've hit pretty much all of the tile ground. So that's the stuff that's going to be the best drained, and everything else is still pretty wet underneath. We're hoping we don't get the rain they're calling for tomorrow night through, I think, the weekend. And that is it for the day. Actually got an early night. It's only 10:45, so much earlier than last night. We'll probably, unless it starts raining tomorrow night, we'll probably be much earlier than tomorrow night. So busy season is officially here. Good morning. Man, I am tired. I actually did get like 5 hours of sleep last night, so that's an improvement on before, but I am tired. Dad's out there. He started, I'm not really even sure what time, definitely a lot earlier than me, where we burned yesterday, and then this big pile that up here that my dad like got with the backhoe out of this culvert here. It's still kind of smoldering under there. Dad is out here spraying all of this green stuff, these purple flowers. They are weeds. We do not want them. And the sooner we kill them, the better. So the general rule of thumb is you want to get rid of these things when they are 4 inches tall or less. Otherwise, they're just going to be a lot harder to kill. So Dad and Jeff are both in this field right across from the shop. It's actually 2 fields, farmed as one, just for simplicity's sake. So Jeff started at the north end and my dad started at the south. You also have to be careful about pulling into the fields with these tanks, more careful than normal. You either have to find the entrance or a really flat spot in the ditch. and flip it into 4-wheel drive as soon as I get off the road. Okay, so it doesn't look like he needs this tank quite yet. He can go another round or two, so just sit here and wait. Gotta work on a few thank you cards for shirt orders, so plenty of stuff to do, always. All right, he's just getting that one hooked up, and I've got this one hooked up and ready to go. The guys are still putting on gas, but there is rain halfway across Illinois right now, so I'm just moving this little field cultivator in the 8420 back into this shed, because if it does rain, we don't want all of that mud, well, not mud, but any dirt that's like left on the cultivator stuck in there. We don't want it to wash down the rock. It just creates a huge mess. So yep, and then just opening up the other sheds so when the guys do come in, they can just whip right in there. Hopefully we get to go home soon. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little cranky. Just picking up Jeff, and then we are all headed home for the night. The rain is coming in quickly. It actually is probably for sure gonna rain. So kind of sucks. I think we really only needed like one more really good day of running to get all this gas on, so that's a bummer. So I'm just on my way back from a dentist appointment. I have not been at the shop yet, but as you can see, it has been raining. Not a whole lot really, I don't think, and now it's just kind of drizzling and misting, but it will probably screw us up unless magically the sun comes out later on today. The top of the ground's just gonna be slimy and nasty, so we will see what happens, but it's not looking promising for Thursday. Fingers crossed we got the planter rolling. We'll find out for sure when we head to the field, hopefully next week sometime, maybe a week after. Who knows with this rain. But just getting a few other things worked out. Jeff and Grizz are working on tile holes, just getting some depth for this tractor, and basically just getting everything perfect. Okay, so I just picked up another full tank, and Grizz got these 3 this morning while I was at the dentist. The neighbor is putting on gas. My dad went back to work another little area in a field that needs to be leveled out a little bit, and he was like, well, wherever he's working must be a lot drier than this because the mud is still sticking. So right now the plan is to try to go after lunch. We'll see how that works out because there's another little line of storms heading our way. So I think my dad is just hoping and praying and fingers crossed, wishing that those will just kind of slide right past us. So just delivering Pops dinner. He's working down these tile lines in a different field. It's a little wet. Unfortunately, we got rained out this afternoon. Well, kind of this morning too. We got more rain this afternoon, so I just went down to Caterpillar and picked up some parts that the guys needed for the big yellow bee. And Grizz and Jeff have already gone home. I have no idea where my dad is because I had his car. Who the heck knows? But I'm kind of hoping I can go home soon too, so I can get some stuff done and sleep. Well, I just pulled into the shop thinking that I was running late because it's 7:30 and I way overslept, because you can tell by what I sound like. I really don't feel that good. I'm pretty sure that I'm in the beginning of a sinus infection. So when it rains tomorrow, I will 100% be going to the doctor. But no one is at the shop. Even my dad is not there, which I'm sure he's driving around checking fields just to see which ones they will be able to go put gas on this morning, this afternoon, of what's left before it does rain tomorrow. But I did not grab anything to eat before I left my house because I thought I was super late. So I'm running home to grab a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So breakfast of champions. It sounds better than Doritos and a Coke. So just out here, I brought Jeff a new tank. He is still putting on gas down here at Potter's, and then I'm picking up an empty, and Grizz is now driving the spray truck for my dad. We were just moving the cultivator to a field, so it'll be there for later on for whoever gets to do that job. So yeah, I will say this, farmers, especially my dad, is a master at figuring out a game plan and getting people to where they need to be most of the time. Sometimes it's a hot mess, but for the most part, my dad does a pretty good job of thinking ahead of what needs to be done now to make things later easier. So Bob just worked this harness west field with a field cultivator, and it's here. Dad is playing right now. This ought to be easy because my dad is right there. Talk about a fast refill. Jeff is in his last field of the night, and Dad is finishing up one field, and then he's got to go to one other one here tonight in this little section. And then we should end with just one field left before we're done for the night, and we're not going to get it done before the rain comes, so that's a bummer, but... And there goes my light. And then I wait, and as soon as it's weighed, Carrie will wave like that, and I'm good to go. But he is on his last field of the night. He's going around the outside first, and then he'll just go in the main part of the field. He's just gonna do the borders first. And then I'll take his empty back, and hopefully that will be it for me for the night, because he's gonna bring the tractor in, so when it rains, I am ready to go home. I am like definitely feeling worse and worse as the night goes on. So looking forward when it rains to being able to go to the doctor and get some antibiotics. Things are going downhill quickly for me. I'm not sure if it's going to rain or not. It kind of looks like it's fizzling out on the radar. Dad said that I need to go to the doctor whether it rains or not, because why is this door shut? Because I have a tendency, if I get sick, I get really sick really fast. Obviously, I was fine like not even 48 hours ago. So before it gets any worse and I'm completely useless when we actually start to plant, you know, the really important stuff, gotta get me some antibiotics. Whew. course, it did not rain, but I'm headed to the doctor, and then if it still isn't raining, back to the farm.
Well, I suppose they're going to stay.
Well, I was at the doctor. The guys finished putting on gas, so all the nitrogen pre-plant is on the corn ground. Ooh, that sounds good. And then my dad went and started to help the neighbor try to get some more of his gas finished up before it started raining. I went and got all the groceries, all the stuff we're gonna need for at least the beginning of planting season for the shop. And since it rained, I'm going home and I'm going back to bed, and fingers crossed and praying that I will get tomorrow and feel better. But thank you guys so much for watching along. Glad we were finally in the fields and it wasn't just another video of shop work. I really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you all had a great week and have a great weekend.